Hello, my name is Paintedweasels, and I am going to show you my Minecraft world, which I started on September 25th, 2012. It is a Roman world. Basically, the theme is Roman times. It's ancient, and everything I learned about ancient architecture from Roman and Greek times I have added into this map. And this is my first video of the world, so most people haven't even seen this. A lot of people haven't, so enjoy. I'm just going to walk and talk when I have to. Alright, so this is the spawn area. This is where you'd start. It's up on an Acropolis. There's your first glimpse of the city when you're starting out. And most people, they just explore this little area when they first join because they don't realize it extends beyond that big building. But here, we'll just get started. Alright, so you walk down. It's like a garden on top of the Acropolis. Here's the sign. And over here, this is basically the city limits up on the Acropolis, because when you look, well, here's a map of the world. We're at the edge of the city. When you look over here, it's all this ancient jungle I've been building over time. It used to be an ocean, then I filled in the ocean and started making a mushroom biome, and then I got sick of that and made a big forest, so it extends quite a bit. There's areas of the town not done yet, of course, but this is part of the town wall. It's pretty high and thick, and it runs around. As you can see, some buildings are not done. Alright. This right here is the Temple of Athena. It's one of the... I call it a medium temple because I've made better temples than this, and I've made worse. So it's in between. It's got my evolved capitals on top of the columns, and it's one of the only open temples that don't have walls. This is a railway station that runs on top of the aqueduct, the railway. And here, we'll just quickly take a little run to get to the other side of the city. So here we are, passing along. That's the bank, that's the Greek library, that's a tower. This is a metro station, there's an underground subway there. That's the first building of the world. This is a big bathhouse in there, right there on top of a hill. And this is an apartment building. It has like 50 rooms. And here we are on top of another hill. So you get off here. You're supposed to send it back. Whoever used it last didn't. And you're on top of another hill. I built this a long time ago. I haven't really worked on it since this day right here, May 20th, 2013. I like to try and date all my buildings and name them so that I can remember, have a bit of history on my map, because that's really what this world's all about. It's about history. It's about bringing the past to life, because how many historians and archaeologists want to walk around a intact Roman city? I love history, so I'm one of those people, you know. It'd just be great to see a city that's intact. This was a building I built a long time ago. Half of it is abandoned, boarded up. The only reason it hasn't been demolished is because of this little bakery I left in there, and I might even still remove this building. This is a part of someone's villa, which has been upgraded. Through time, I tend to upgrade buildings. Some buildings I start, and then I just don't really like them, and so I don't continue them for a while, or I might get a new idea from them and add on to them later. This was one of those. This is the porch of a big apartment building I was going to start. It was going to rise up there, but I don't know. I might work on it later. Sometimes I get sidetracked. I'll work there, then I'll run over there, work here and there. This is a little shrine. It's actually, though, part of the old forum. It's the last bit, because I used to have two forums, like one beside each other, like this. And then one I filled in and built buildings on, the other one's still intact, and we'll go there soon. So, September 30th, 2012, this is when this was built. So it's pretty old, this little section. It's just been immortalized in this area. That's another villa that I started a while ago. It's for someone that I know. But it's funny because I built this in one day, this half of it, and then I stopped construction one day, and I haven't gotten back to it, so his building is like half done, like literally. Oh yeah, right here is my Circus Maximus. I built this because I thought the horse update was about to come out, so I built it. I built this in about 3 days, and then what happened was the horse update did not come out, so I haven't really finished it yet. And the part I didn't finish really is this part over here. And oh my god, it's actually really hard to make a curve that has arches in it. That's pretty hard. Not only that though, I tried to leave this old ruin here because right here, this is the last remaining section of a giant fortress I had right here. You'll actually see the bottom of it. That right there used to extend all the way over here, and then rising as high as the world could go at the time, there was a fortress about this high up, and it was like oval. It was kind of like Minas Tirith from Lord of the Rings, except made of sandstone. And anyway, it had to be removed for this because I needed to have a Circus Maximus, and this isn't really Roman. It was more... I got inspired by a movie called Castle in the Sky, which came out in the 80s. It's an anime, and it's about this big floating fortress castle. So I was kind of making that, but I didn't have really enough room. And yeah, my city, as you can see, I make my own hills and things like that. But not only that though, I don't just have floating areas. Like this is still kind of floating and unrealistic, but what I tend to do is I have a plan, to make it more realistic. Like right here is the cave entrance. This will be like all stalagmite caves, just like that. But then I also I start building these elaborate underground networks. Right, for instance, right here there's the sewer system. Hang on, let's get in there. There it is. Here's the sewer system. And just so you guys know, I built the entire Roman city. So when we take out the map here, I completely constructed basically the whole map, but all of this right here was just built by me. No one else is allowed to build Roman structures because they just don't know how. Most people build in these two corners because there's two villages there. Anyway, let's get out of this hellish maze of a sewer. It's also intertwined with ancient ruins from the past, I call it. Because cities were built on top of cities in the ancient days, so that's kind of what I tried to emulate here with the sewers running through it, but let's get out of there. So here we are, back in the artificial river I made, back near the spawn. Alright, let's go back to this side over here. Here's the forum I talked about. There's my name. My name is Drew Jackson, and my name is in the forum. There's one here, and there used to be another one of these right there. And I cleared it away though for buildings. That's the first temple I ever built. It's also the biggest. It's 8 by, I believe, 15 columns. And it's the Temple of Rome. And the neat thing about this temple here is Temple of Rome, December 20, 2012. So it was built just before, what was it, December 21st? Wasn't that when they thought the end of the world was going to happen? In 2012. So it was pretty funny. I built it just before that. And I just restored it recently with the quartz on May 9th. But when you go in here, I sealed this off so people don't walk in here and set off monsters that will blow up things, because I really can't afford to rewrite the whole history of Rome as I have. I'll just do a quick frame by frame so that whoever is watching this can pause and read it if they wish. I believe it goes here. Yeah. It's just really a brief summary history. I got this from a history book I have about Rome, and most of these are in point form. Too bad. I could probably squeeze in some more here, but I don't know what I'd add. Maybe some more history about the Eastern Empire, because it ends just with the fall of the empire in the West, and the Eastern half lasted for like another good 1,000 years. So anyway, let's exit out of here. Okay, this is the first library I built as well. Some of these buildings we'll explore further if I make more videos. We'll just see how many people like the look of this world first before I actually go really in depth. See, this is a building still in construction. These are supposed to be like the baths of Caracalla. They're more elaborate than my first bath, and they got everything I've learned about Roman architecture all in one, like everything I've perfected through time. Here's my forum, my Roman forum. This is where all the temples would be, arches, and my Rostra Augusta, where you hold public announcements, and Temple of Saturn, Temple of Vespasian, Temple of Concord. I have the gates of Janus Gemini, the two-headed god. Mars, This is supposed to be the Temple of the Caesars in Rome, but on this one I called it the Temple of Juno, who was Hera, who was Zeus's wife and Hercules' mother. This is the Temple of Euphorix, who is actually a friend of mine from Minecraft, and I dedicated this temple because he's one of the oldest friends I had. And it's also one of the first temples. Very simple, as you can see. It's like simply beautiful. It just has a simple elegance to it, you know? Because that's the very first impression I had of architecture at that time. So this was it. But this over here is my most recent temple that I built, and by far the most advanced. It's almost just like out of real life. It has all the right angles, all the right cuts, you know, it just looks great. I'm really proud of this one. And this is like my at least 22nd temple that I've ever built on in Minecraft, so it's a perfected style, as you can see. It took me quite a bit of time. I'm going to add a statue in here. This is the temple of Jupiter Capitolinus. And Capitolinus only meaning that this is the hill it's on. It's on the Capitoline Hill. The only reason why I made my forum like the one in Rome is because it's one of the coolest forums they had, and it just has a lot of character as opposed to the other Augustan forums that you see in the other cities. And yeah, there's just temples scattered everywhere, and it's a city that really requires a lot more in-depth exploration than, because I cannot honestly show you everything in one day. It's just too massive. Like this world is almost 2 years old, and trying to show you 2 years worth of work in like 4 or 5 minutes is not going to work. But I will make other videos if people like this. So yeah, thank you for watching. There's also a lot more things outside the city, because I love natural history too. I've made my own forests, my own ruins. But yeah, that's my Roman Empire that I built so far. I hope you enjoyed the video.